Hello smart viewers, welcome back to Venus TV Face to Face with me, Barry. Sometimes you heard when people say that I'm trying to find my true inner self. So today we're gonna talk about identity crisis, how broad is that topic, and today we have special guest, which is Anissa Katlea.
Hi,
hello,
hi,
what's up? Thanks for coming.
Yes, thank you so much for inviting me here.
So, probably the viewers want to know a bit about yourself. So
Okay.
can you briefly introduce yourself?
Okay, so hello smart viewers. My name is Anissa Katlea, but people mostly calling me Katel by the name Katel. Up to you which to call. And I'm currently studying communication major in Venus University, and now I'm working as a radio announcer in Dreamers Radio.
Okay, that's cool. So, working in this, I would say, media industry, media and entertainment industry, like you can see a lot of influence that media and social media brought to you. One of it is the alteration of who you are in that different world, in the social media world. How can you see that? What is your opinion about that?
I think that when people go to social media, they tend to see what's new, what's trending, what's mostly talked about. And they tend to become someone or somebody that is good in the eye of people, you know. So sometimes there's this world. In Indonesia, the word is pencitraan, as in English, it's the image, right?
The image,
So people try to build their image from social media because social media is a large platform. It's a big platform for people to show who they truly are or who they really is. You know, like they're trying to become the good ones or they're trying to become the smart one.
Yeah.
But also not little, not small. I mean, like there's also some people who thinks that it's okay to be yourself on social media.
Yeah.
As for example, you know, the it girl right now that we've been talking about, she's trying to be herself in the social media. But some people take it as, wow, you're being way too liberal for this country, get what I'm saying? So yeah, in social media, people are trying to build their image. They're trying to be smart, they're trying to be a good girl, they're trying to be who they really are, which is maybe a bad girl or maybe the smart girl. But whoever they portray in social media is the kind of image that people will get from them.
Okay, so from there we can learn that there is this bias in who you really are, and it is influenced by the trend.
Yeah.
What is the biggest trend now?
Yeah.
And it becomes the mainstream. When you follow the mainstream, as we can see the example in Indonesia, when you follow it, you're the coolest human in the world. Like, how can you see it?
Well, that's the funny thing about mainstream, you know. Sometimes people follow the mainstream and sometimes there's these people who said they're anti-mainstream, right? But then again, the anti-mainstream, everybody wanted to become the anti-mainstream just because I wanted to be different. And then the anti-mainstream becomes the mainstream. Get what I'm saying? So that's
so
like
it's
a cycle. Yeah. So like the anti-mainstreams, everybody tried to become the anti-mainstreams, and then they become the mainstreams. And then there is this people who said that, wow, you're trying too hard to become the anti-mainstream, which brings them back again. They're the you know, it's like a cycle.
Again.
Everybody is trying to become somebody. Everybody is trying to become somebody cool, somebody that when people, like for example, you, I mean, you're smart, Barry, and then everybody's trying to be like, look up to you. They look up to you because you're smart. And I think that, you know, everybody is just trying to be somebody who can inspire other people. But then again, you have to be something that is really different, that is really inspiring. But when you're trying to be something different, sometimes it makes you have this identity crisis. Make you questioning yourself, am I really something? Am I really different? Am I really that all? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so now we go to the real problem itself, the identity crisis, that when people trying to be good, because as we can see, the changes is not always bad.
Yeah, it's not always
bad.
bad.
Let's say you are the laziest person in the world, and then one day you become friend with this one guy who is really diligent. Then you become diligent. Like your identity somehow shift, or your mindset shift into that person's mindset.
Diligent person.
It's part of the identity. I would not say it crisis, like identity shift.
Yeah, I think.
How can you see that?
if for example you turn into a better person in a positive way, right? Like when you used to become a lazy person and then you become a very diligent person, that's something positive, right?
Yeah.
But it's not actually an identity crisis. It become an identity crisis if that person question himself, like, am I doing the right thing? Is this really me? Is this what I really want? Then it became an identity crisis.
Well, what if, let's say I'm become a diligent person
Yeah.
now. I spend all my night studying. I don't hang out with my friend anymore. And then one day my friend said, you never hang out with us. Like, we're gonna leave you. I feel depressed. That
yeah.
those diligent that I have has become a bad thing for me, and somehow I question it. Is it a good thing? Then is it an identity crisis then?
It could be because you're questioning it. If you are sure, if you know what you're doing, if you think that this is positive for you and you gain more positivity than the negativity, then it's not a problem, right? But when you question it, when you feel like, I think this is not for me, but why am I doing it just for the sake for people seeing you like, oh, you're such a smart boy, you're so diligent. I mean, for what? Like, it's okay, it's a positive thing, but back again, what are you really searching? If you're searching for, you really wanted to do this because you wanted to have a scholarship, you wanted to become a smart person because you really want it, then it's okay. But if you only do it just because of the trend or just because, then why? I mean, like, there's a lot of people.
So
who's doing
basically, again, correct me if I'm wrong, that you need to sacrifice something, of course.
Yes, of course.
You need to sacrifice something. If I want to become that kind of good person, probably I lose my friends. So
yeah, well,
that's one of the consequences.
Yes, that's the consequences. It's like it's a gamble. Actually, we're gambling when that's the thing. When you choose something, there's always a consequences in the end, right? Like, for example, I choose to go here and become your guest. I have to live. I have the consequences that I cannot hang out with my friend who's asking to hang out with me now. But it's okay because I choose to go here because I wanted to. I want to share my thoughts with you, with people. And it's the same like your question. I mean, like, if you think that I wanted to become a good person with having to sacrifice some of my fun times with friends, then be it. Like, back again, it's your choice, but don't let it eat up your soul. Don't make it into, you know,
a
pressure or, oh my God, I shouldn't have done this. And then it becomes something.
That's really interesting. And so we're going to go to the com break and we're going to talk more about identity crisis with Anissa Catlea. So stay tuned with us in Venus TV Face to Face. Hello, smart viewers. Welcome back to Venus TV Face to Face, and we're still with Anissa Catlea. Welcome back.
Yes.
So, we talk a lot about this identity shift, how you should fit into something. So, probably, have you ever experienced it on your own, like this experience of identity crisis?
Actually, I think everybody experienced this. You know, same. I do too. So. Most people maybe experience it at their young age, but I actually experienced it when I'm in college. So, at the young age, do you ever watch SpongeBob?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, SpongeBob is all naive, and he thought that everybody is nice. He never thought negative of people, and
everything
I think that
will be okay.
Yeah, everything will be okay, and that's actually what I'm also thinking when I'm in elementary school and then when I'm in junior high school. I try to set my mind to that, you know, like, I'm just a kid. Everybody is a kid. They won't have hidden agenda. They won't have something mean on their mind. So yeah, I tried to be myself back then. I tried to live to the fullest. But when I grow older, when I'm in high school, when I'm in junior high, I saw people. I see them, and I think that everybody is not the same anymore. They've changed, right? They become something that they wanted to be. Like they wanted to become more popular. They wanted to become more quiet. They wanted to become. Like what I'm saying, they're trying to build an image. And from there, I saw them and I feel like maybe I should too. And then I met this group of friends that I felt like they're the coolest, you know, and then I become one of them. But when I'm becoming one of them, I feel like it's not me, you know. But I'm not in the position to back off or leave them because I don't want to.
Yes.
So then again, I have an identity crisis because I become someone that I never thought that I would be or wanted to become. And then I think again, is this really me?
You were not comfortable.
No, I'm not comfortable with them. But I feel like being with them is the right thing. So
how can you think
it's
the right thing while you feel uncomfortable?
Yeah, that's why it's identity crisis, right?
Okay.
When you feel like you wanted to become something, although you know it's not actually you, but you wanted it. So yeah, that happens with me and my friends. Why I think that it's good to be with them, because I don't know, I feel like that certain that's something like oh yeah, like this is my friend, but then deep in your heart you know that the way they socialize, the way they talk, the way they everything is just not you. It's
so
just
you basically love them as an individual, but you don't really into their value.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
So then, but at the moment, I didn't say to myself that I should just back off and stop being their friend, just for my own good. But at that point, I'm thinking to myself, maybe I should start to become, maybe I should become like them. Maybe I should start to develop myself more like them. And then when I do, I feel uncomfortable. I feel like, no. I'm like fighting with myself, you know. Maybe some of your viewers also experience identity crisis, and maybe like you guys also know what it feels like to fight with yourself. You know, like this is not you. Just go away from them, but you can't because you wanted to. So
okay. So is it like sort of trial and error for you? Like you've tried to do it with this group and you don't feel comfortable, but you're okay with the person.
I'm okay with the person.
You try to do it with the other group, or have you tried to find it yourself, where it's only yourself, not involving another group? Is it possible?
It is actually possible, but well, we're human beings. We love to be in one's surroundings, right? I myself is not actually. I'm kind of individual person, you know. I'm not that bestie, but sometimes I know that in this life I need to have these peers of people that I would call my friends. Okay. So yeah, I'm sure a lot of teenagers this day experience also these things, like they know that sometimes this is not them, but in order to still have friends, or in order to be known, or in order to have a title, they would still be willingly to sacrifice their true identity just for the sake of those things.
Okay. I'm wondering, I'm curious, how about movies? Is there any relation with what you watch or what you like?
I think there's a
lot
lot.
This identity crisis.
Yes, and have you ever watched, like for example, Glee?
Glee,
right? Glee,
yes, the
Glee,
musical.
and then Mean Girls.
Mean Girl, I don't really know. I'm familiar with Mean Girl, but I don't really watch it. But Glee, okay.
Well, I'm a bit scared if you watch it though. It's a bit of a chick flick. But yeah, so the Glee, right? Glee, you know that. What's the main protagonist's name?
The teacher?
No. The guy, the jocks, the one who sings.
Everyone sings there.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Lea
Michelle's boyfriend.
I don't know. Okay, let's say A.
I forgot Kurt. Yeah, Kurt. I know Kurt is the whatever it is. Okay. But the Glee is actually portraying a lot of identity crisis there. Like for example, there's this jocks who try to protect his name, but he loves singing. And then his true passion is actually singing, but because Glee is just like. As not as cool as jocks, he's really shy to join it. But when he is into it, he fell in love and he felt, wow, this is actually what I wanted. But he has to protect his image as a jocks, the cool jocks. It's an identity crisis, you know. You know that you only do jocks because you wanted to build up an image, but actually what you really want is singing. What you really want is to be able to become into that Glee group. And then that guy, the gay one, you know, he's also having an identity crisis because he can't be true to himself, to others, that of his sexual preference, right? He have to you know, like he has to cover it up and act like normal people, but actually deep inside he has a secret that he wanted to share, but he can't. So it's an identity crisis, you know, you're fighting with yourself.
It's interesting because like this homosexuality, LGBT is like common, like it's emerging topic and people just like to discriminate them. So that's part of identity crisis as well, as I found out, because they're trying to reveal themselves. This is who I am, but then people will judge them. I mean,
that's actually really mean, you know, when you're trying to become yourself and people is judging you. That's the source of identity crisis because you're being judged, you're being treated unfair, and then you feel like, okay, because I wanted to be treated fairly, because I wanted people to see me with no judgments, I will become something that they want me to be, and that's where identity crisis starts, you know, because those people that are mean, that have prejudice over some stereotypes, you know, like for example the LGBT ones and stuff like that, they make pressures to those who have the symptoms, you know, like what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying?
Who is assigned to that title, I guess.
So
I'll say it like that.
Like for example, you love dancing, ballet, you're a ballerina, and then you're a guy, but I'm judging you like, what, you're doing ballet, you're a ballerina dancer, you're a guy, and then you're pressured, right? You were like, oh, so a guy can't dance, and then you tell everybody that no, I don't do ballet. See, you're covering yourself from telling the truth, you're covering yourself from showing who you really is. So I think that what kills an identity and makes an identity crisis. People should stop judging other people.
So that's the solution. Like we have to spread this awareness, advocate that you should stop judging. And let them be. Let everyone be. If they wanted to become a nerd, then let them be. If they wanted to become, I don't know, a feminist, then let them be. I mean, that's just it. Yeah. It's really interesting, and we're gonna go back to you later. So stay tuned with us in Venus TV Face to Face. Yay. Hello, smart viewers. Welcome back to Face, still with me, Barry and Katel.
Yay!
So, we talk a lot about this identity crisis, and it's really interesting how people tend to try to fit to one group, to find themselves comfortable, at least comfortable in the eye of other, while sometimes they don't feel comfortable. So, do you have any advice of what should we do as an individual? Like in a place where you will be likely to be judged. Like find yourself, like they say, find your passion and blah blah blah, but, and then you're not comfortable with it, with a society like this. How is it?
It's a hard question. I mean, like people always try to fit in, right? They always wanted everybody to like them. It's a lie if somebody said that I want to become like who I am. I don't care if people hate me. But when people hate him, he would be like, why are you hating me? See, that's a question. I mean, like everybody tends to always want it to be liked by others. And I think that's the reason why they wanted to fit in. But the solution is, if you wanted to be if you wanted to fit in, just never forget yourself. Never forget your own self. Like, it's okay if you wanted to become with this group of people that you think is valuable, or you think that they could give some things positive to you, maybe for link, you know, like just for networks. It's okay, but remember that you still have yourself. You never forgot who you really is. Never forget who you truly is. Like, always remember who you are, and always, love yourself before you love others. I think that's a very cool word, you know. Like,
Okay, how about when you have this value in yourself, like let's say your original value, and then you are in this group, and what if your original value clash with their value? Is it possible? Because
I think it's impossible.
Really possible.
I think it's impossible, you know. But sometimes, that depends. If you think that this original value of yours is really important and you stick up to it, then if it clash with that group of friends, then leave them. Because back again, it's your value. It's something you stood up for. Don't let other people, you know, like deceive what is your belief, what is you're strongly stood up for. Let them have their own value. Let them have their own beliefs, but don't let them mess with yours. Get what I'm saying? Because when they do, they'll mess with the entire you. They'll make you who they want you to be, basically.
Does it including social media, or we portray ourselves?
Yeah,
it's relevant as well.
Social media is what I said. Social media is a platform for people to share their thoughts, to build up an image, like how they want it to be, like that. And I think that what makes other people
know who you are.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, and apparently we have come to the end of our segment today. Thank you so much for being with us today, and
Yes,
also
you're welcome.
thank you so much for the Venus TV crew and everyone who helped to make this show today happen. So stay tuned with us in Venus TV face to face every Friday, 1:30 p.m. with me, Barry. Uh-oh.